remember me from about a month ago when I was here. The main reason I'm here is to clear my name.
Slander.
She's saying that I sexually assaulted her.
This is very serious.
Tomorrow on Judge Mathis.
Plaintiff Deborah Lopez says after she started dating the defendant, she discovered he was cheating on her with her former sister-in-law.
Go ahead.
Well, I certainly don't believe everything that's said with pillow talk, so I'm not that naive. What led me to believe that we were in a serious relationship are a few different things. We went to open houses together. We went to one. We pretended we were a couple. We had talked about maybe him coming to Madison and working for the Justice Department. So there were several things along the way that made me really believe that it was a serious relationship.
You worked for the Justice Department?
No, because he is a Milwaukee police detective.
Okay.
When he said, you know, I have to stay within the city limits, I said, well, what about maybe coming to Madison at some point and working for the Justice Department? So on different conversations, he would say, did you find me a job yet at the Justice Department? And I said, no, you'd have to look that up yourself. So in the later part of August, I had not talked to my former sister-in-law for about 5 years. She had called me. She was stranded in Madison. She said, Debbie, are you in town where you can give me a ride? I said, no, I'm at my boyfriend's house in Milwaukee. So a few weeks later, she called me again just to chit-chat because we hadn't talked. She said, so you were at your boyfriend's house in Milwaukee? I said, yeah, he's a police officer. He's been on the police force. He's now a detective. She said, really? What's his name? And I said, his name is Ed. Well, as we started talking and comparing notes, she said, is his line name on there, Not Into Games? I said,
On the internet site?
Yes, that was his name was
Not Into
Games. And I did say yes, and after comparing notes, going back and forth, we realized that he was in a relationship with me that was serious.
At the same time?
At the same time he was talking to her. And I do have a statement from
Let
her.
me allow him to give some background on the case. You can give me the statements before we get to the vacation and loans you're suing him about. Sir?
Okay, she's correct. We did meet on that website. I think after maybe a couple of days we got together and we were intimate right away.
Judge, I'm sorry, that's not true. We didn't meet right away because his children were here from Florida visiting. So it was probably 3 weeks later after
Minor
we'd been talking.
It wasn't that long. We talked. I told her I was only interested in her. We began dating. She kept her profile up on the website. I kept mine up. Every time I would log on, she would be there. We would chit-chat for a while. That was okay. Then after a while, it was like, okay, every time I'm there, she's there. Then I would log off because it's like, you log on, you see somebody there, you're like, I don't feel like dealing with it right now. So I log off. A few minutes later, she's like, oh, you can come online, but you can't talk to me. I'm like, well, I have something else to do. It became like a stalker type thing. So she found out I was on another site by her friend who she's talking about. Next day, lo and behold.
Meet white people.
You said that was called what?
Meetwhitepeople.com.
Right. That was meetwhitepeople.com.
Was it really?
No, that wasn't it. That wasn't it at all.
I thought you knew what you were talking about that time, though.
Next day, she shows up on that site, and the same thing. I log on. She's like, well, you can't talk to me. That became kind of a nuisance. So after a while, I was like, look, Debbie, I need space. I don't want to be in a relationship anymore. A week or so after meeting and talking, she told me about this trip she had with a former boyfriend that she was supposed to go on. She asked me, did I want to go? I said, sure, I'll go. She made all the plans and booked the flights and everything like that. She never said I had to pay for anything. She just asked me, did I want to go?
All right, she hasn't told me about that part yet. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. Basically, the trip was planned. I was planning to go with a former boyfriend of mine in July. And after he couldn't go, Ed and I had met, and I said, yeah, I was supposed to go to Florida in July. And he said, he goes, well, I'd like to go. I can't go until September 15th when I get vacation time.
Did he go then?
No, he didn't, because all of a sudden he said, I don't have any spending money to go.
So he said he's not going because of that?
Yeah, he
So
said,
why are you suing him?
because I could have easily taken someone else. It
Right.
cost me
And
$300.
you could have once he told you he wasn't going.
No, I couldn't at that point.
Why?
Because right now, it cost me $300.
You'd already spent that on your other boyfriend.
No, I didn't.
No what?
No, I did not
Who paid
spend-
for the other tickets?
I paid for all the tickets.
For the
but-
first boyfriend.
Correct.
So he was to be a stand-in. Who was going to pay for that?
No, I was. I never
Right.
asked Ed to pay for that. I never asked Ed to pay for the vacation at all. That was all paid for. It
So you're
cost me-
saying because he backed out, he owes you.
Basically, yes, I could have taken someone else.
How many days notice did you get?
That he wasn't going about
Mm-hmm.
a week before.
The judge will render his verdict when we return. And later on Judge Mathis,
The negligence of caring for the dog would mean A, I did not take care of the dog, did not feed the dog, did not take it out.
Right, you didn't care for the dog because the dog was able to break loose and destroy his property.
A dog that small could destroy that much.
You the one said it. What do you mean if a dog? What do you mean if a dog could destroy that much? You're the one said the dog did it.